Kenneth Alexander, photographer. Kenneth Alexander, March 3, 1887 – January 24, 1975, was a photographer for United Artists and 21st Century Fox, known for his photographs of such stars as Marlene Dietrich, Lillian Gish, Betty Blythe, and Vilma Bánky. Early years. Kenneth Alexander, born Alexander Kenneth Alexander in London on March 3, 1887, the son of Alexander Fife Alexander and Alice Alexander, and educated at Bedford Modern School. He was 16 when his family emigrated to New York City in 1903, after which he studied art at the London Polytechnic and the New York School of Art. Career. Alexander commenced his photographic training with Van Dyck as its London court photographer, and then to H. Pierce of Boston 1905–7, before joining Ernest Walter Histed 1908–9, an expert at dramatic portrait in low-light settings. At the age of 19, he started working freelance in Millville, New Jersey, specializing in home portraiture. His work achieved national notice in 1907, when a photograph of the painter Arthur Wesley Dow topped the portrait category in the Third American Salon at the Toledo Museum of Art and was featured in the American Ama. Alexander became a U.S. citizen in 1914, and his growing fame allowed him to move to celebrity portraiture. Alexander's interaction with the world of celebrity led to romance when he fell in love with the silent movie actress Molly King, whom he married in 1919. The couple moved to New York to encourage her work on Broadway, and he quickly established himself as a photographer there, with a tagline, "Photographer of Women Exclusively," a gender reversal of Peary MacDonald's motto. He gained particular acclaim with United Artists during his time in New York, assisting them and other film companies with offices in the city. After New York, Alexander moved to Los Angeles at the behest of Lillian Gish, who wanted him as a photographer on her film La Boheme. Alexander eventually settled in Hollywood, where he was employed by Sam Goldwyn Productions throughout the 1930s. Filmography. 1935 The Call of the Wild, still photographer, uncredited. 1935 Clive of India, still photographer, uncredited. 1934 The Mighty Barnum, still photographer, uncredited. 1934 Bulldog Drummond Strikes Back, still photographer, uncredited. 1933 Roman Scandals, still photographer, uncredited. 1933 The Bowery, still photographer, uncredited. 1932 The Greeks Had a Word for Them, still photographer, uncredited. 1931 Street Scene, still photographer, uncredited.